nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'll go to roll call. Mr. Lawrence? Here. Ms. Mason? Here. Ms. Mayo? Here. Superintendent for Government Code, Section 54957B1, and we received information. 7.2, negotiations. The board may discuss negotiations or provide direction to its representatives regarding represented employees pursuant to mediation, conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9B, two cases. In first case, we received information. In the second case, we received information and provided direction. Public comment period may be moved to the end of the meeting. Speakers are not allowed to yield their time. And I would like to add that if this is your first time with public comment process, let's explain that we're governed by what's called the Brown Act. Okay, so with that, we will start with Jan. I'm sorry, I'm not doing well with that. You can correct me when you get up here.
And I'm here in regards to my daughter, Prudence Gloria Tomenko. In April, it was over 80 degrees there. She wear shorts as the rest of the school. Almost every kid was wearing shorts, and a lot of hydration from the school for notification. Later on the day, my daughter told me she had to change her pants at school with loss and found. Next day, I went to the school, spoke with Ryan Sheely, who is the principal of the Highland Elementary, and there was no responsibility taken and a conclusion of investigation that basically dismissed all what I reported or what I filed in for, that we were not founded. And in this investigation, I was never contacted. The length of the investigation was some portrayed to be wearing shorts that are provocative to the rest of the school. According to my daughter, that's what they told her. According to the report said, oh, they took out my daughter because they didn't want my daughter to be embarrassed. Her friends were laughing at her. My child to have a strong mental ability growing up. Thank you.
Very much. I didn't explain the light too, if you're new to that. There's three lights on the podium there.
Hi everyone, my name is Enrique Sanchez, President of the TLAC Bilingual Program.
Good evening, my name is Esperanza and I am a parent and a part of the TLAC too.
The VLAG is so happy because I have new superintendent. So now is Dr. Robert Martinez. Welcome to the Mondialo District Unified School. Thank you for that position.
President Durkee, can I just ask a question, which would be, so I think it was great that we had the members of DLAC come. Would they also be able to come and not be subject to the 3-minute limit in the future if they wanted to do a district organization report?
Absolutely, yes.
So I just wanted to make sure they...
Members of the board, superintendent and staff, welcome back to a new year. There's going to be a lot of changes this year, as there's every year, and there's some things that are going to be kept the same, the good things, I hope. Some things that will change, the things that need. Apprenticeships could be a good guide forward for careers. A recent study in artificial intelligence says that many college-trained positions will be done by machines, but we'll always need plumbers. So we may want to think about expansion planning and assessing students in a variety of ways appropriate to their background. We went through a horrible time where teachers were stapled, folded, and all in line. And I fear that a number of our teachers.
Heather McFadden.
concerns that Woodside Elementary staff and the Mount Diablo School District have been negligent in addressing my appeal to the promotion of Caitlin and Kyle McFadden to the first grade. Despite my constantly reaching out to the district, my appeal has been put off all summer long until now, when it is too late for my chance to formally appeal to you, the board. I have made it completely impossible for me to appeal to the board. Is this even legal? Denying me my opportunity to appeal my children's promotion before they start the first grade. I have typed out timelines of my struggle through this appeal process, not only how the district failed to respond in a reasonable time frame, but how no one seems to even know what the process entails, and this district allowed to not follow the law and have no repercussions. I am a mother who is trying to ensure her twins who were born premature are provided a very solid educational foundation prior to being promoted to the first grade. I am fighting so that my children do not have to spend the next 12 years struggling with and hating school. Do not want them to end up one of those kids who are simply pushed through the system until they finally graduate and are someone else's problem. I want them to succeed. You may not know my children personally, and this may not affect you guys after tonight, but to me this is very personal and will affect the rest of our lives. I'm begging the school.
Esperanza Flores. Veronica, right?
Members of the board. So we're new to the school system. We have 4 children that we're bringing in. So I'm very nervous. And we're trying to. My daughter had to do the test because she's in the Spanish immersion program. My son doesn't get it because he's 3rd grade. I got a call today, that he was denied. And I just want them to be together. I don't want to split them. And I've been trying to respond, no anything. And so I'm just trying to find a way to keep them together because I would like them to be in the same school. So.
Yeah, we're trying these transcriptions over, and it's the only way we can work and I work, and we don't have time to pick them up. So I don't know if you guys can help us to see what's going on or what we can do. We really appreciate that.
I'm happy to put together.
Hello? Use the restroom. If you need to use the restroom, then I or one of my assistants will escort you and wait outside. If I need to exit this boardroom for any reason, then one or more of my assistants will prevent you from escaping while I am out. Until the police arrive and decide what to do with conspiracy to destroy or conceal evidence, felony conspiracy to falsely and maliciously procure another to be charged for a crime, felony conspiracy to falsely move or maintain a suit, action, or proceeding, felony conspiracy to cheat and defraud people of property, evidence against you. Again, do not leave this boardroom. Do not leave my sight. Hello? Hello? Hi. Send people now, please. My name's Michael Geary Wilson. First common spellings present in the boardroom. I don't know if anyone else is armed. I am not. Thank you so much. Bye.
Caregiver 7.
Learning since before 3rd grade and pulled out of school at my 4th grade. I'm now entering 6th grade and I just went into a private school. I'm with him.
George Fulmore Concord. I'm wondering if the superintendent's going to take a job right now, but Oak Grove came here and they asked for additional help and services. Tonight there's going to be 2 new VPs named, the principal and the other, the third VP remain. And I assume most teachers are back and others. Transfers away from Oak Grove are popular. So a lot of parents in the monument choose to do a transfer and go to another school. The numbers are up at Oak Grove this coming year, so something must be happening. And I just think Oak Grove is a real key school, certainly their neighborhood school. So there's a pattern of going out and then coming back, which is great. I just, want to see Oak Grove have a really good year. I hope you do too. And I'm going to do all I can to help that. And I just want to spotlight Oak Grove. Thank you.
Hand it over to our wonderful interim.
You can tell I'm new. Drives to advance understanding of the resilience research for both his classified and certificated employees. He seeks to support all district personnel in advancing their personal and professional skills, knowledge, and expertise in working with children. He was named the California AXA Personnel Human Resources Administrator of the Year. Dr. Martinez holds a BA in psychology and an MA in education, both earned from the University of California, Davis. He earned his raised their 4 sons, the youngest who just graduated from Benicia High School. It is my personal pleasure to introduce Dr. Robert A. Martinez.
I know it's a board meeting, so we're not going to go for a long time tonight. It's in my heart. My parents worked so hard to give myself and my 4 siblings opportunities, and it was frequently through education where those opportunities came. As I've learned and grown, the evening conversations about education, instruction, raising our children, raising other people's children, quite frankly. And those conversations resonate with me as well as my doctorate degree research. It's about the heart, and it is an exciting time to be in Mount Diablo Unified School District. I know the previous superintendent was doing some great things, and this community is doing amazing things. Not a single person can improve that on their lead. We can lead with resilience so that every single part of our community, our students, our families, our educators, our support personnel, our governing board, everyone, our community stakeholders. My wife Nancy is here. Yeah, she's holding the phone. 2 of my sons, Vincent is over here, he's 19 and a half, and Christopher just turned 18 a couple of days ago. Oh, you need to sign the contract?
No,
Approve it? Thank you, Larry. Take care of the business.
We're going to take a break so we can sign the contract with them, so we don't let them out of the room until we sign.
We need to approve the contract. Approve it. That's what we're saying.
In addition to a $300 a month flat reimbursement for automobile mileage and a $200,000 term life insurance policy, with the district as beneficiary for $25,000.
Okay, we have a first and a second.
Hi there, I'm Brian.
This is more exciting, or was he yelling at me?
Chris and Vincent.
It's over here. You're about to sign. Can I do like pictures?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Can we do it right over here? Yes, please. two, 3.
Joanne? Squeeze in. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
No, the contract. Said I've got a copy. I've added some more. Thank you. Oh man. Well,
I am.
Stuff like that. Oh, especially.
our feelings won't be hurt if your family needs to go.
Folks are aware he begins August 19th, his first official day.
Yes.
August
Yes,
19th.
19. Yes, it's Monday. But we got to see.
There we go. Personal pleasure for me to introduce Celeste Graybill. Celeste, if you would stand. We are recommending Celeste for the position of principal, elementary school, to present her to you as a candidate for principal, elementary school, Wren Avenue.
Would be my pleasure, having worked with Celeste in the past for after-school program, to make the motion that we approve the appointment of Celeste Graybill as elementary school principal.
First and foremost, I would like to thank the board, the assistant superintendents, and everybody in this room who has led me to this path. Not only my parents, but I have so many. Thank you for everything you've seen in me over the years. Felicia, everything you have given me. I'm not sure how you can follow and act like our new superintendent with what he had to say, but I would love to learn from you and your vision. My parents who are in the, please support the arts. Wren is an art magnet. I am so excited to be able to move it forward, to have been selected to do that. It's my goal to become a magnet school like Holbrook, who I know is represented here tonight too, to be the
Right along.
It is again a pleasure to introduce another candidate, Ariana Hernandez. Ariana is being presented to you as a new middle school vice, Lucy Davis, and her MA degree from Loyola Marymount University. It is a pleasure to present to you Ariana Hernandez for the position of middle school vice principal, Oak Grove Middle School.
Passes 5-0.
Hi, good evening, board members. Good evening, assistant superintendent, community members. I know that there's a lot of work to do, and that's why I'm back in my district, and I am honored to lead the fight to move our school forward and make it known for our great accomplishments that are yet to come. I want to thank a lot of the people in this room Like Celeste as well, I have a lot of mentors, a lot of people that have guided me, that have.
Again, I'm pleased to present to you David Ramirez. I'd like to stand there. David is being brought forward to be the middle school vice principal, Oak Grove Middle School.
Once again, it's a pleasure to recognize David Ramirez because we work together in after-school program at Bel Air. So with that, I make a motion that we approve the appointment of David Ramirez as middle school vice principal for Oak Grove.
Good evening, board, colleagues, friends, family. It is truly a pleasure to be here. 24 years ago and about 45 pounds, I started, and just a little story, because I was working in high school a couple years ago, I did have a student who came up and brought his class picture, and I was his vice principal when he was in kindergarten. And then I was his vice principal when he was in high school as a senior. And to know that I was a vice principal there 10 years ago, and due to budget cuts, had to get moved out of there. And I've really tried to see what I can do to get back. There's something about Oak Grove that draws me there. And I'm really proud to be there. It's exciting to be there. And I really can't wait to. 4 children that have been going through Mount Diablo. My oldest graduated a couple years ago, is now at Washington State. I have a senior this year, a sophomore, and then a 7th grade student in Mount Diablo. So we have been here, we've been a part of it, and again, I'm privileged and honored to be able to continue working with the students, the staff, the
educators develop. And it is a significant pleasure to introduce Janice Heaton. Janice, would stand. We're presenting Janice for the position of elementary school, Bel Air Elementary.
Principal at Bel Air Elementary School.
I would second that.
We have a first and a second. We'll go to
President, board members, assistant, interim superintendent, and congratulations, superintendent. We're both starting a new journey. This is my 6th draft of notes. I decided to scrap them. I just wanted to thank, I wouldn't be here today without all of these people. My son Nicholas, an MUSD graduate. My son Harrison, Air Force, just dropped him off. And all of the support of Robert Humphrey with the staff, the students, and the communities of Bel Air. So thank you very much.
I am pleased, and it's a pleasure to introduce Janae. She would stand.
Janae is not here, but she sent a message that I would just stand in her proxy. Child care.
Our next candidate, Erin Alter, and program specialist for 3 years. She received her BA from Furman University, degree awarded cum laude. She also received a master's degree from St. Mary's College, and it's a pleasure to bring to you
that passes 5-0.
Good evening, Madam President and Special Ed. So we kind of like talk about this all the time. But Mount Diablo is my family. And that's how I treat all my families in the district for programming for special ed. And I see my CAC parents here. And so I'm so excited about this role. I'm that doesn't like California, but I needed to do something that I love. And I love this. So thank you for this opportunity. I promise I will take care of every single child in special education. And I just welcome it, and I love Mount Diablo, and I think this is a great place to.
Has been a teacher for 6 years. She's been an administrator for 13. She received her BA degree from CSU Chico, and she's being presented to you for the position of Program Specialist, Special Education.
Thank you so much. I will keep this very brief. It's an absolute honor to serve special education students and to be in Mount Diablo. We live in this area.
Construction Manager 2, and I'd like to present Diana Bahern. Diana has been an architectural designer for 8 years. Well, for 4 years, she's been a...
Madam President, I move that we appoint Diana Bahern to the position of Construction Manager 2. I'll second that.
I did not want to forget that she's received awards for architecture and
Good evening, everybody, members of the board. Thank you very So I've just been informed that we missed one of our public comment cards, so we're going to go back to public comment for a moment to make sure this person is on. Thanks, Victoria.
The reason that I'm here this evening is just to say, welcome. I am with the East County branch of the NAACP, and I want to let you know that we are here to work with you and to all of the appointees this evening. Our job here is to make sure, like one of your appointees said.
Okay, we're going to go on to board member reports.
Thank you. So certainly a huge welcome to our new superintendent. We're incredibly very capable. So I think a lot of what we heard tonight was many of the great things that are going on in this district. I think one of the most exciting things is seeing our new appointees. How many of them have deep ties to MDUSD that don't get arrested on the way to the corner that will be taken off. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
First, I wanted to say for the last month between Riverview Middle School, so I wanted to thank all of the staff at Riverview for their support, as well as Richard Jackson and his M&O department for always supporting us on our program out there. And we painted a beautiful mural on a container that's out there, so hopefully that'll brighten up the day for the Gateway students. And I would say in light of some of the tragedies that have been happening lately, I think we've picked just the right person that we need to not only lead the district and take us where we need to go, but have the compassion and the insight to know how to do it in a healthy way.
Sorry, I'm speaking as closely as I can. Is that better? Afforded to each and every one of us. So thank you. To school board members from throughout Alameda County, as well as some representatives from CSBA. And the CSBA, as you know, that other education partners like CTA
you. I'm glad. I want to thank President Durkee for your leadership and for your many hours of work in leading our whole team here through the superintendent search and the contract process. I think the process was done with integrity, and I think it brought us all together as these backpacks that went out to our students. Love those donations. Let's see, what else? I am excited for one. I want to make a plug for one upcoming event, the Wren Avenue Art Exhibit. It's Saturday, August 17th at the Brendan Theaters, and it's in terms of construction projects. We've had a lot of amazing projects happen at various sites across the district. In some cases, there's questions like there's new secure fencing or gates, and when are they open or closed? So that would be good information to get out to the community. But that also led me to think.
So I'm going to just try to add things, echo everything everyone has said here. That in June there was a graduation in the middle school for the EMT class. It's always fun to go to because these folks graduate and go to work. Really nice. They have jobs. Some of them have jobs already. So it's a great thing. This is a little bit personal, but kind of it's about Concord. Concord's been doing the 50th anniversary of Concord Jazz, and it just so happens that my a woman who was a roommate of mine in college just for a year was instrumental in all that history, and the owner of a car sales place, and he actually started it because he felt like jazz musicians weren't getting enough attention, and so they started it in the park, and it actually led to the creation of the Concord Pavilion. I remember being there. I guess I must have been so uncomfortable. Was created. That record label is not called Concord Jazz anymore, but it's now, I think, one of the largest record labels in the world. So anyway, that was fun. And the other personal connection, my brother was playing in some of the events too. He's a pianist, so that was really quite nice, I think. And he was quite a trooper. Just, it's like a wedding, shake hands with every single person who came through and had a little conversation, which is kind of what we wanted. And so he hung in there, and he talked to everybody, so that was lovely. And I did attend also El Paso and Gilroy Victims. It was very multicultural. It was a small group of people on a very short notice pulling this thing together, but it was very heartfelt and really, I think, gives people a chance to feel like they're doing something. To have a great keynote speaker. It was Paul Pinter he's a professor at GBC, very entertaining. I always leave those things thinking, I did it all wrong. And I go back and rewind the clock back. Oh, can I learn again? Because I always learn. I was like, oh, okay. Should have done it. So I won't hold those again. But, so I want to thank Dr. Martinez for signing the contract. We're really thrilled. We're really thrilled to have you, and I'm looking forward to working closely with you. And I know this has been said 4 times already, but I personally just familiar with Mount Diablo, have strong love and passion for Mount Diablo. Has great. He was a superintendent elsewhere, so he has that background, and he's just very calm. It's wonderful. So thank you very much. The front part of the book is the protocols, and kind of for your sake also, that a protocol that we have any board member who needs or would like information, the request goes to the superintendent.
Thank you for your kind words. I can't wait to. Our children went through Mount Diablo schools, and it's just been a pleasure. And she said, when the opportunity presented itself, she would jump at the chance to do anything that we could to support Mount Diablo. And she said, you get down there. Get ready for 30,000+ students. On Thursday, 30,000+ students are going to show up, very excited, just ready to go for the next year in school. Well, it takes almost 2,000 people to do that. We will be ready, and we are ready. And it's just been a pleasure to have the opportunity to work with you and welcome Dr. Martinez to the new chief. Well, you know.
It's with Ms. Oates.
Yes,
She's
it
getting
does.
signing papers. Now, moving on to our consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be approved or adopted by a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. However, the item may be removed from the consent agenda upon the request of any member of the board and acted upon separately.
1436.
I'd like to pull 1431. Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. You want to vote or you get roll?
And thank you to the staff.
I did also want to
Zero one.
Yeah, and all of these can be basically handled as a whole. First off, anybody who knows me, I'm like all about guard these programs under the next generational standard, science standards, until we had a way to actually show that we were showing growth in that area. I have no doubt there's growth in the health area, and I've asked a couple of times, because I heard, so that is why I pulled them. I did get a packet, and I let Mr. Byron know ahead of time. Unfortunately, I didn't get home from Tahoe till Saturday evening, so I didn't have a chance to deal with it then. But I've been handed a packet, but I haven't had time this evening to go through it to where I can.
To get our gardens up and ready for their students, we would like it approved tonight. We do have some prep work that needs to be done, and some of our schools have actually built in the NGSS in the garden program to, let's say, a rotation wheel of sorts that you start with. So we would prefer that it would also be something that as we move forward, we can take a look and compare from year to year, because you're absolutely right. We want to take a look whether or not it's LCFF supplemental funding, whether or not it's the PFC funding, the PTA funding that's in this document. Some of the schools utilize some Title I funding. We're also looking at possibly adding a couple schools through a Yes, thank you for asking that. To provide some clarity, for these contracts, for most of them actually, there are some PFC or some PTA funding mixed in there, and so that's when it says, for example, on the Bancroft item 14, there are ones that we're going to be also in the process of moving forward.
And just for clarity, the 80,000 I pulled out was just the supplemental. It didn't count the matches.
And as those of you that are on the foundation, and we continue to look for other focused on, I'm not sure it's STEAM or STEM there, Mr. Langley, but it's good
We're gonna
stuff.
say STEAM.
It's good stuff. We're gonna say STEAM. Yes, we are. We're gonna say STEAM. So it is something that they are taking a look at funding a variety of different ways.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Second.
First and second, all those in the vote? Second, all those in the vote? Passes 3-1-0-1. Passes 3-1-0-1. 3.4.
Madam President, I move to approve item 16.5.
First and second, we go to the vote.
Pulled this one because I was wondering, these contract nurses that we have, are they counted in the ratio when we look at our nurse to student ratio? Because I feel they should be. So I don't know if anyone has that answer, but they're not.
That passes 4-0-0-1.
And we are making those changes. Thank you for pointing it out.
So I move to approve item 16.7 with the edit to the 2019-20 school year.
It's a new position. The job description came to the board back.
That passes 4-0-0-1.
That's going to be interacting on one-to-one with our students, whether it's in a restaurant, a hotel, a school, a parking lot, would have to have fingerprint clearance. So I will be voting no on this.
You're it.
Good evening, board. That scope change is due to the escalating costs that we had when we initially went out to that, so that's what the change in the cost of that.
The Architects Inc. service contract for the food service central warehouse facilities modernization project.
sure that we can close the meeting on behalf of Sean Taylor and Kirsten Solomon.
18.1, agreement between Mount Dairy Unified School District and the City of Pleasant Hill for school resource officers for the 2019-20 school year.
We're going to be an equitable district, and for Pleasant Hill, it's shared between us and the police department.
Perhaps it would be helpful.
Well, I'll make a motion. I make a motion, we approve the agreement between Mount Diablo Unified School District and the City of Pleasantville for school resource officers for the 2019-2020 school year.
All value our law enforcement officers. It means that someone who either got away with $20,000 will be the SRO on our school site, and that individual, at least the last years, was very popular and supported by the students. So I don't know if there's any further information from staff that can be provided.
Charging the school that we pay for essentially so that they could have additional funds. And the other complaint was that the SRO was also helping out with the middle schools and the elementary schools, and they didn't feel it was right for them to have to pay, the high school to have to pay, and over the high school.
But we don't know why it went up.
We do not know why it went up.
So I think it's a simple question somebody could ask them, right?
Definitely, we did inquire, but they haven't got back to us.
So is there a time constraint on needing this vote tonight for the start of school on Thursday?
Yeah, they're not gonna work.
Passes 4001. Two, expand Holbrook Language Academy with pilot 6th grade dual immersion.
Hi, I'm a parent of a dual immersion student going into 5th grade at Bancroft. We were the first dual immersion cohort. And I'm actually coming into this, I was looking over the summer at our enrollment numbers over the summer joined and those that transfer to better schools. We lose 20% from 1st to 12th grade. And once again, that doesn't count the kindergarten because I don't have the data on it. And I think this item actually explains why that is. We as parent program, because you can't do Spanish with half a family, it just doesn't work. In 2015, we were told that there will be no sibling priority, residence state priority. We were here, and maybe some of you remember, nothing was done. And so siblings got rejected last year, and because of the, and we have two. We have students on the stage that take classes for music, for art. And then we were promised a middle school. So in 2014, we were told that when 2nd grade comes around, we will get you a middle school. My child is going in 5th grade. We as parents, we wonder what happens to the district that we're not listened to and that we're promised things that we will never keep. So I ask you, please, it's too late for Bangor, but for Holbrook, it's starting 2nd grade dual immersion. Keep that promise that you made to us by 2nd grade.
That every year, and I used to go to the people meeting because I was curious as to what the district was thinking. The principal was saying, hey, we're looking at the program, there's now a head that's kind of looking ahead, last year, last week. So every person said, yeah, sure.
How the district would be able to support that, if they would or not, it depended on budget. So the district-wide meeting was very clear, they were taking it a step at a time, but it sounds like you got a different message, and that's what I was trying to get to. Thank you.
Megan Bondi.
I would like to be
have a lot of kids coming through the district. I'd like to bring my resources, emotional, financial, mental, to this district. I have an ex-husband who just moved to Moraga to send our kids to better schools. I would like to fight for these schools, and it feels destabilizing to have this agenda to sixth graders and to fifth graders. So mostly just here to support Holbrook and get information about the decision-making process. So thanks.
Really feel like I was missing a part of my community, not being able to speak two languages, and so I'm so excited that my son has that opportunity, and I think they're doing such a great job at Holbrook. I can't say enough about the program, and I would really is so focused on culture and family, and they just need to stay together, and so I think it's important that this moves forward.
We've done information night and all kinds of things, and we're really happy when we started hearing rumors about the school possibly going to 8th, being extended. I think it's very important for children to have a structure, a foundation, if you will, and a little community of their own. That foundation, so they could feel comfortable, I think would make them better learn and just flourish in the education part of their life. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys that I think that it would be a great thing if we could actually have that happen. There's a lot of sketchy people there. If you guys are parents or any parents here, you would understand. You would not feel good about leaving your child in the dark with a lot of not nice, safe-looking people around there. And this would also help people like me know where they're extending the school. We're very happy that we're part of the Holbrook community. We think it's great, and I think it would be very good if you guys let that happen. Thank you.
Was that there was a reasonable opinion in the spring that it was already determined, therefore it wouldn't need to come to the board. And yet after some significant inquiry in time, in those conversations, made sure that it did not include 7 and 8 at this time, because that creates some significant challenges. 7th and 8th is not is very different than adding a 6th grade, in that I've worked in districts where there's K-6 school, and it needed to be discussed openly so that everyone was clear as to what the process was going to be. So yes, I would acknowledge it has not been clear, and I think we're starting to take a path that will clarify, if you will, these decisions.
What we are proposing is a pilot program where we will have a classroom of two-way dual immersion students. It will be self-contained, so it will be an elementary model, just self-contained. They're not going to be going, changing classes or any of that. This is something that we have worked on for several years. I believe in 2012 when the board approved the English Learner Master Plan. It does include a program all the way through high school. And so that to do is have a pilot program, and then we have some time to discuss what the rest of the program may look like.
Talk a little bit about the process for identifying students for this pilot.
5 bilingual schools, Cambridge, Meadow Homes, Ignacio Valley, Bel Air, Shore Acres. They could choose to transfer to Holbrook, and we would, grant those transfers. So it was self-selection, but originally we had 22, and we are trying to verify those numbers. So this program would be more a two-way dual immersion program versus an IB program. Language is part of an IB program, so students are definitely, a bilingual student or a student coming from two-way dual immersion, probably in 2012 when we approved the English Learner Master Plan. I would, somebody can say something. I would imagine.
Try to implement some new things, and I think the question would be, it's kind of like our facility plan. There's a plan, but it doesn't mean the board has approved, spending $400 million, whatever, no, you can't do it. But so you probably want to get some clarification.
There is a process for updating it, and I believe we're just waiting to bring it forward. Five other schools with students that are going into sixth grade now, and so it really became an equity issue. If we're going to offer this program for one set of students, we should offer it for all students. So that's really why that has changed. Your other question. At this point, that is the plan, but I do believe that there should be a discussion around that.
That we asked if that was the actual plan, and we were told that it was a draft, and that it had not yet been approved. And it does say TK to 8, but what I'm seeing proposed here is a single classroom of sixth grade, so not TK 8, but really like a single sixth grade classroom.
If I could answer that, I received a call from the president of Medea, which I appreciated, and we indeed were remiss in not setting up a negotiating session to discuss the impacts of this change. And I've asked our...
As far as Ed Code, are you confident that we could start this classroom on Thursday and with meeting all the
yes, I
legal
That's
requirements?
the part that potentially confusing is, we're so used to thinking of, 6, 7, and 8, so we automatically use this pilot is a good step forward, given all the variables, and definitely maybe a study session on all of this, because it's all good stuff. It's all exciting. We know parents want it. We want to do it right.
The request for sixth grade pilot to inform future expansion opportunities, and know that we will be looking at it in the future. Second. cost or something I brought up early on as well. So we're basically talking. Second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. We'll go to the vote.
Enhancement of the district's financial software system, Power School Business Plus, to improve and support the critical functions of the district's financial software system.
We have a first and a second. We'll go to the vote. 5, renewal of the agreement with Agron Consulting to assist with E-rate discounts for the 2019-20 school year.
Motion, we approve the renewal of the agreement with Agron Consulting to assist with E-rate discounts for the 2019-2020 school year.
I did it in-house, and as my tenure here is coming to an end, most directors don't do E-rate in-house anymore. I started it in '98, and the process must go on even.
This 4001. 18.6, award of RFP 1846 for LEA Medi-Cal claims reimbursement services. That passes 4001. We do not need a meeting extension for College Park High School. Sean Taylor, equity behaviors, passed away on August 6th. Clearly a tremendous loss for our district. Impacting lots and lots of people. And then Kristen Sullivan, who is an